literal train, another detail that Peter was earlier primed to see as just an illusion. Yes, Mysterio has messed him up with layer after layer after layer of second-guessing the fakery. And because Peter's Spidey sense still is not at its full power, he has no warning about the train. We actually see a similar shot in Brand New Day when Peter gets smacked by the Punisher's van. We do get this fun moment of Holland in Holland as Peter fraternizes with some very friendly Dutch orange-flag football fans and surprises him with his ability to just walk right out of that prison cell. But his disorientation lasts through him seeing Happy Hogan.
Happy, is that you?
Yeah, it kind of seems like these vibrant tulips are further throwing Peter off. During this time, Flash's Instagram feed shows that his account name is Spidey #1 fan, and most of his followers are bots, suggesting that the dude buys his followers. We get this heartfelt moment on the Stark jet with Peter and Happy Hogan, where Happy finally restores to Peter what is real, and he lets Peter use Tony's fancy fabricator on the back of the jet to 3D print a new suit. In addition to the past suit designs that he's worn, there's some fun Easter eggs here. Some alternate designs include the Spider Armor Mark I on the far left, and the Superior Spider-Man suit that's second from the left, and his old Homecoming era suit, and the Iron Spider suit from Infinity War and Endgame, and the Secret War stealth suit. And then later, Peter makes his new suit from what looks like designs for the Spider Armor Mark II from the comics, and the Spider Armor Mark III on the back left. Yet notice that he doesn't add the waste web fluid storage that his past suit has that kind of leads to him running out of webbing in London. Peter will do his best with limited resources to recreate this fabrication machine in Spider-Man Brand New Day, as we saw in a recent promo that recreated this apartment for the film. Peter reaches into the hollow gauntlet, just like Tony did in Iron Man, which reminds Happy of Tony Stark, and he plays the song that we heard in the first Iron Man film, Back in Black by Led Zeppelin. I mean AC/DC. Actually, I've kind of made some intentional mistakes in recent videos just to drive people crazy in the comments. And notice what Happy does to even open this lab. He uses his pinky and his thumb, making a kind of Spider-Man web slinger gesture. We get another scroll clue here.
I thought Kree having sleeper cells was top secret information.
Nick.
Kree sleeper cells would be a concern of their lifelong enemies, the Skrull, and one final clue comes later.
Appearances can be deceiving.
Yes, setting up the post-credit reveal of a card tagged HNM 62011, Hawkeye and Mockingbird #6, released in 2011, which revealed a Skrull posing as Fury. We actually learned in the Hawkeye series that Lord Barton was Agent number 19, also known as Mockingbird. The Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. series also had their own version of Mockingbird. But when Brad tries to out the truth of Peter to the class, MJ quotes George Orwell.
The very concept of objective truth is fading out of the world.
This is exactly what Mysterio is exploiting, and what Peter will exploit with a memory wiping spell in No Way Home. Gooderman is the bus driver for the class as they arrive in London. Beck runs the program from the Tower Bridge in his fishbowl helmet, like a comic-accurate Mysterio. When Happy tells Talos Fury with a coded message to warn him about Beck, he mentions a surfboard. There's actually a theory for a while that Happy knew Talos was impersonating Fury because when Talos first arrived on Earth, he shapeshifted into a female surfer. All of that turned out not to be true. It's just a coincidence. Peter rides in on the outside of Happy's jet, a little more confident than riding on the plane in Homecoming. After increasing his taser web voltage, Peter uses the function to take out the drones from the inside out. After taking out more with a cool flip, Peter gets hit with the sonic cannons. Confirmed as the same tech from the Stark designed sonic cannons used on Hulk and equipped on the War Machine armor in Civil War. The sonic cannons will get used again in Ms. Marvel when the DODC takes over the Stark tech. On the bridge, you see this car tagged M95 XLV, Roman numeral for 45, and the astonishing Spider-Man #45, released in 1995, was the debut of She-Venom. The post-credit scene of No Way Home did see a little Venom goo left behind in the MCU. A drone chases the others into the Tower of London. Notice its thermal scanner, TML, is inactive after getting shot by the guards, explaining why it was not able to detect their body heat. Peter uses the bridge sign as a shield and the explosive drone piece, flinging it up, similar to Captain America in Endgame, holding his shield while swinging Mjolnir by the strap at Thanos. Peter rediscovers his tingle, blindfolding himself to trust his instincts and break through Mysterio's misperception.
Why aren't these drones firing?
You're in the strike zone. The chance.
He's clear behind the drones. Peter causes him to get hit, but otherwise, he wasn't in their strike zone. Really, Beck wasn't this far down the walkway. He was actually much closer to Peter within the line of fire. Edith's warning was a clue that this Beck was another projection. Beck points the glasses at Peter like a gun, his finger around the trigger, but with Peter's Spidey sense return, he's able to see past this illusion and prevent Beck from shooting him in the head. Peter also learned this from the fight with Vulture, to not let a villain's monologuing distract you in order to buy time. Peter had to go after Beck even though he couldn't see him, something Tremel Tillman's character, William Metzger, will recruit Spider-Man for in Brand New Day.
It appears we're faced with a threat we can't control. One we can't even see.
Beck's final words are haunting. And Peter never gets literal confirmation that Beck is dead.
Is this real?
All illusions are down, Peter.
Yes, very poor phrasing of the question by Peter. As we see in Spider-Man No Way Home, many people will continue to see Spider-Man as a villain who killed the hero a mistrust that will be stoked by the reporting of J. Jonah Jameson, a mistrust of Spider-Man from some of the citizens of New York always existed in the comics, and it's possible that many will continue to mistrust Spider-Man in Brand New Day. Whether or not the truth about Mysterio was ever widely reported, the concept of objective truth is fasting from the world. For all we know, the rest of Mysterio's team was never truly captured, and Quentin Beck, or whatever his real name is, could still be out there somewhere. Peter kisses MJ beside an upside-down Mercedes tagged TSAM 143. That's for the Amazing Spider-Man issue 143, which featured Peter's kiss with MJ. The car being inverted could be a nod to the upside-down kiss of Tobey Maguire, Peter, and MJ. MJ reveals Happy gave her the broken Black Dahlia necklace, which she'll continue to wear in Brand New Day. Evidence that despite the memory wiping spell, she knows deep down there is a reason to keep it. In the final montage, Peter glides through a new atrium constructed into Avengers Tower. We have to assume this is Avengers Tower because it's right next to Grand Central Station. We don't know if Val was the one who added this as part of a reconstruction of the building into the Watchtower in Thunderbolts and Avengers Doomsday, because we haven't seen this atrium level since, so maybe she did have it removed. On the street level, there's this barrier wall that reads, "We are so excited to show you what comes next," with the timeline showing numbers 1, 2, and 3, and then a question mark with the 4 likely referring to Phase 4. Not Fantastic Four, unfortunately. Peter swings MJ around the city as Spider-Man, something he'll do again in Brand New Day, only this time she won't know who's under the mask. And we move on to a post-credit scene where J. Jonah Jameson appears, played again by J.K. Simmons as he was in the Raimi movies. The Daily Bugle is now an InfoWars-style conspiracy show airing Mysterio doctored footage, framing and outing Peter.
Spider-Man's name is Peter Parker. What the?
Yes, calling back Aunt May's final line in Homecoming. Though InfoWars is now a parody of itself, thanks to being taken over by The Onion. J.K. Simmons actually told comicbook.com that he will not be returning in Brand New Day, saying, "Not in it, dude. I don't know who on the internet decided that was fact, but I ain't in it." Which would make sense given it doesn't seem like the MCU's Peter Parker will have anything to do with the Daily Bugle, at least not yet. Then there's a post-credit scene that reveals Talos and Soren posing as Fury and Hill. They call the real Nick Fury, who's on the Saber space station that we visit again in the Marvels, looking for his shoes. One of the darker endings of the Infinity Saga. Peter overcomes Mysterio to regain his tingle and inherit Tony's vision, but misperception wins the day. A reminder that we still live in a world of false narratives in which privacy is a thing of the past. Far From Home gave Peter the confidence to trust in his Spidey sense and the assurance that he doesn't have to jump in and replace Tony Stark in this immediate moment. While he will encounter threats, he knows that he can take charge of the situation and make the right decisions to protect the people he loves and the innocent civilians he doesn't even know. He doesn't even have to wait for a senior hero to tell him what to do. He can make those choices himself in Brand New Day without Ned or MJ, Aunt May, or anyone else who knew him by his side. Big thanks to the NR Underground subscriber Justin Schoenrock for supporting us at the executive producer level. Actually, every Monday on the NR Underground feed, we're now doing a Monday mailbag podcast where I'm going to answer any question from our patrons. You can get all of our exclusive bonus content by clicking the link in the description below or going to nrunderground.supercast.com. Big thanks to Brandon Barrick for writing this script and researching all these new details. Big thanks to Studio Tech Brian Kim, New Rockstars editors Joshua Stephen Hurd and Abby Friel, and all of the supporting editors for their work on this video. You can follow me at EA Boss. Hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week for our re-breakdown of Spider-Man No Way Home.
Since Troy fell. Almost 20 since he left us. Where is he? Where is he?
The Odyssey.
Spider-Man Homecoming is filled with details we never caught, like the awesome Scorpion suit that we see in Spider-Man Brand New Day. It was actually built all the way back in this 2017 movie, revealed in just a throwaway line. That's one of dozens new details that we found. I'm Eric Voss of the New Rockstars channel, and this is a re-breakdown of 2017's Spider-Man Homecoming, Spider-Man's first official film in the MCU after appearing in 2016's Captain America Civil War. Spider-Man Homecoming was the first of 3 Spider-Man films directed by John Watts, and really laid the groundwork for what audiences could expect from Tom Holland's Peter Parker. So in this month of July, as we count down the weeks to Spider-Man Brand New Day, here on the New Rockstars channel, we are revisiting all 3 of these films, Spider-Man Homecoming, Spider-Man Far From Home, and Spider-Man No Way Home, for even more Easter Easter eggs and details that we never saw before. And as we head into Spider-Man Brand New Day, you know you're gonna want some Spider-Man merch, and we have tons of great Spider-Man inspired designs available exclusively on our merch store, nerdright.shop, like this great Who's Who design. Grabbing something from this merch store is the best way to support what we're doing here at New Rockstars. Please and thank you. The film opens on this drawing of the Battle of New York, reflecting how this film is really a youth's point of view of the Avengers. The OG Avengers crew is all represented. Iron Man, Thor, Captain America, Hulk, Black Widow, and Hawkeye is way in the back. Almost added like an afterthought. This lo-fi opening will happen again at the start of Spider-Man Far From Home, with the Midtown High News recapping the events of the blip. But we learn that this drawing is done by the child of Adrian Toomes. Adrian Toomes is played by Michael Keaton. Toomes is showing this kid's drawing to one of his crew working salvage after the Battle of New York. This crew person is Phineas Mason, aka the Tinkerer. The Tinkerer first appeared in Amazing Spider-Man #2 in 1963. Yeah, the second issue. The same issue that also featured the first appearance of the Vulture. Mason will be the one to build Toomes' Vulture flight suit, as well as various other weapons and tools utilizing Chitauri, Ultron, and other stolen, confiscated DODC tech. We will later learn that the kid that drew this is Liz Allen, Peter's future love interest and homecoming date. The Chitauri Leviathan coming through the portal in the drawing looks almost like a spider, you could say, with all the lines emanating out. We cut to Stark Tower post-battle, and just like in Liz's drawing, the tower has just the A remaining on it, a symbol of this building becoming Avengers Tower. And as we saw in the 2012 Avengers film, Grand Central Station like this is located just across this elevated road that leads.
Fortnite saved the world. It's the game mode Epic Games tried to completely abandon, only to come back to it. Whether you bought it all those years ago as a founder, or you just started when the game's gone free to play, every single person who starts Save the World goes through the exact same journey. This video is going to cover the 5 definitive levels every single Save the World player experiences. Level 1 begins off with the Stonewood Noob. Everyone started here. Players here, they just started off from Battle Royale with no idea what Survivor Squads are, which for myself, it took me ages to know what Survivor Squads were. Most players here only know what they know from Battle Royale. The fact that you can build, you can shoot, and any other things that Battle Royale has, and essentially they just build a bunch of walls around the Atlas or whatever defense it is. They will spam an entire magazine and miss half of their shots. They'll spend 45 minutes just looking around, trying to get a grasp of what things are, what the controls are, how do I play this? Especially since they removed the tutorial. Which, if you need some guides, I do have a bunch of videos which you should go watch if you want to get better at Save the World. Sadly, this is where most players stay at, actually, because, well, they don't really play. They either quit or just get stuck in here trying to understand how to play the game. As you can tell by the evident fall-off of Save the World's player count when it went free to play, it peaked and then immediately fell back to pre-peak numbers. You are an OG when you were in level 1. This is probably when you got scammed the most and when you tried doing a lot of trading. Which is exactly what happened to me when I was in Stonewood. There was this guy trying to warn me, but I didn't listen and I got scammed. To simply put it, no one at level 1 knows how to play the game. No one knows how to really do anything at level 1, especially with the fact that they removed the tutorial, which makes it even worse for new players. On the rare chance you experience one of these rare hidden gems, be sure to help them out. Be kind to them and just teach them a bit about the game. Maybe even redirect them back to my channel so they can get a bit better. Naturally, as the Stonewood player gets better, as they've realized the mechanics and how to quick craft ammo, they begin naturally graduating onto our next level. Level 2, the Plankerton Mid-Game Hustler. If you escaped Stonewood, you're better than most players. Just like if you subscribe, you're better than most viewers. At this level, most players get obsessed completely with efficiency and trying to make it into Canny Valley because every Plankerton player knows that is where the juice of the game is. People at this stage have become obsessed with leveling up, getting their power level higher, and just really upgrading everything for their weapons, their traps, their heroes, and everything else that they have. They're no longer playing for the objective. They're basically just loading into a rescue the survivor mission, ignoring all the survivors, and just spending 20 minutes anti-material punching every single thing around the map. At this stage, a lot of players understand what traps are, but they will simply just spam a bunch of traps. As you can see, I spammed a bunch of traps. They will also use old strats, and with the farming that comes, they also farm daily quests and absolutely spend all of their X-ray tickets on those farmers. And any other resources, as soon as they get that, they will immediately spend it on something, which led to me constantly wanting Survivor XP. And everyone basically has autofill Survivor squads, because at this stage they've learned what Survivor squads actually are. Can someone explain to me in the comments though, how turning off autofill really works nowadays with the changes they made to power level? Mostly, Plankerton players, they do need some help still, so if you're in a higher power level, be sure to help them out, and don't make fun of them. Level 3, the Canny Valley Ghost Town Survivor. Now that's a very long name. You're probably wondering, why is it called the Canny Valley Ghost Town Survival? Canny Valley is basically purgatory. If you've made it here, you've become accustomed to the game, you know a lot of the mechanics, you have the hoverboard, your storm shields are somewhat built, but the trap tunnels aren't really there yet as well. I genuinely had no idea what trap tunnels were until I started Twine Peaks, and this guy taught me how to build. This is the middle of Save the World, also because it is the soul-sucking part of Save the World. If you're here, you will spend ages here, and it will not be fun. This place is literally the ultimate test of how much you can endure. The Canny Valley questline absolutely sucks. At level 3, the player's soul hardens, and you realize most of these questlines are made to be absolutely annoying. So annoying, ridiculously annoying. You'll load into a mission and it's complete RNG that you can even do the quest. It'll be like, mine these weird skulls, I remember that, or find 3 bunkers around Canny Valley. When I was in Canny Valley, you couldn't just do a quest, leave the mission, and the quest completion would still count. Instead, for us OG players, you had to complete the mission full way through just for your quest to count. It's a complete grind fest, essentially, and it's where a lot of players quit as well if they didn't already quit in Stonewood. If you haven't quit though, then comment down which level you're stuck at. I will definitely reply. Ignoring the grind can be useful, which is probably very confusing. Let me explain. It teaches you how to play the game properly. You learn about elements at this stage, their weaknesses, how to perk up your weapons. It took me until Canny Valley to realize that you can perk up weapons. At this stage, you've stopped using physical weapons against fire husks. You start building out of metal instead of stone when nature husks appear. You begin actually configuring your hero loadouts and learning what the best support perks are and what the best heroes are, instead of just picking the coolest looking character, which is what I did. At this stage, you're no longer a casual, and you are an absolute grinder. And if you're really at the top, you may actually just have a bunch of trap tunnels ready. Sadly, I certainly didn't. Your worst enemy, aside from the quest line, is probably those blaster husks that just aimbot. This is also notably your first time experience with a boss. You must fight the Storm King. Now, it's not the mythic one, I know, but that grind fest does make it worth it just to fight the really, really cool Storm King at the end. Sadly, you won't get that pin though. Which takes us to level 4, the Twine Peaks Tryhard. Twine Peaks, this is where the training wheels really come off. It is the finale of Save the World. Completed Canny Valley. Finally unlocking the unfinished wasteland that is Twine Peaks. We all know that the quest line just completely cuts off at Twine Peaks. Canny Valley is where it ends. No one here plays for fun. Everyone plays for optimization, maxing out your survivor squads, debating whether reload speed or durability is better in a 160 zone. Most players at level 4, if you're level 4, you are either planning and preparing for the Mythic Storm King, or you're farming out the Mythic Storm King to get all those Mythics. Players in this stage, they know Save the World like the back of their hand. And often, this is where most founders are, or they could be at level 5. To put it simply, level 4 is where all of the established, experienced, lost few remaining Save the World players are. And if you are one of these guys, thank you for still holding on to this game. I don't know how you have after all these years of it not being updated. If you're in here, you know everything about Save the World, and you may even just start speed running through missions, or speedrunning through that abysmal excuse of a quest line, which brings us over to level 5. The end game Titan. Finally, we've reached level 5. Everyone here has everything, either power level 130 or some range to 144. They've completed all 10 storm shield defenses in every single stone. They may even have the platinum trophy. They have every mythic weapon, every single trap, millions of spare schematic XP, survivor XP, all sorts of XP. The grind is over. Level 5 players have everything. They've built a fully automated Wave 30 endurance base just to leave their device AFK and get all of those sweet Battle Pass XP. Back in the glory days, they drop stacks of Sunbeam and a bunch of 144s for Stonewood players, and then absolutely watch little Timmy lose his mind over getting all of these weapons. Players at this stage only come here because they're a founder and they want their V-Bucks. That is the only reason you would still be playing, or unless there's a new update to save the world, or maybe one of your friends wants to play. But there's not a lot of reasons left at this place, as you've virtually done absolutely everything the game has to offer and know every single thing. You've got thousands of X-ray tickets just piled up, thousands of gold, thousands of every single material, and everything's maxed out, and you have everything in the collection book. This is the complete 100% finish of Save the World. They've beaten the game, and really, they're either here for greed or to vibe. Most players being a mixture of both, which I'd agree with. I'd say I'm a mixture of both. And with that is the 5 levels of every Fortnite Save the World player. I hope you enjoyed. This is the end of the video.
I beat the Raven the Redwoods Easter egg on round 1, and this is exactly how I did it. Welcome everyone to the Infinite Warfare Zombies and Raven the Redwoods round 1 world record lowest round video. The second map on Infinite Warfare Zombies, and we actually already have done Zombies in Spaceland, so if you wish to watch that or any of the other world record lowest round videos, the playlist for that will be in the description. So to start off our game, we're going to be opening up the map and collecting the parts we need. I beat the Raven the Redwoods Easter egg on round 1, and this is exactly how I did it. Welcome everyone to the Infinite Warfare Zombies and Raven the Redwoods round 1 world record lowest round video. The second map on Infinite Warfare Zombies, and we actually already have done Zombies in Spaceland, so if you wish to watch that or any of the other world record lowest round videos, the playlist for that will be in the description. So to start off our game, we're going to be opening up the map and collecting the parts we need to go to pack and turning on the power. So in this room here, we are able to grab the first boat part that we need to get to pack. And in order to beat this on round 1, we do have the director's cut on for beating all of the Infinite Warfare Zombies Easter eggs. And I loved how for beating all the maps, you get such a cool reward for doing the super Easter egg. Like, your effort was rewarded, and it made playing the game in the future just a little more fun and slightly easier. So we do get to start with all the perks on the map and 25k points. Now in this room down here is where the power switch is, so we are going to flip that so we can get power on the map. And there's also this little thing that you can do here where if you pick up a knife and throw at this dude's head, you get some extra points. My aim, not so great, but I was able to get a couple points. I kind of just did this for the video, just to have a little fun, but I wanted to talk about Rave. Rave is honestly such a good map and Easter egg. It's got a great vibe to it, it's got a lot of color, it's a cabin in the woods slash school camp themed, very Friday the 13th vibe, and the Easter egg is really beginner friendly as well, and Rave as a whole is honestly just such a top tier zombies experience. So in order to start the Easter egg, we do have to go to pack and talk to Kevin Smith, who I'm actually playing as, but that's because I have director's cut. And we need to get on a boat and go to him. So that is the third and final part that we need. I got the second part at the rave area, so now all we need to do is make our way to him. But before we do that, we do have a few spare points. So I'm going to hit the magic wheel because we want to get a bow, which is the wonder weapon, or should I say wonder weapons, for this map, because there are 4 of them. And because of director's cut, every weapon from the magic wheel is already pack-a-punched, which is ridiculous. And we do get a bow. We get the Ben Franklin, which is kind of like the lightning bow from Horizon Track, I suppose, but yeah, how sick is it? Man, Director's Mode is so OP, but at the same time, it's like, you do have to still put in the effort to beat all of the Easter eggs so that you can play like this, so it's not like you just get it for free, but yeah, we did get a bow, and that was good, and I just wanted to keep hitting the wheel just to kind of get a better weapon, that wasn't the bow, but I ended up just taking these weapons that I have now. So we're now at the docks, and I do pick up one of 2 film reels, which is how you access pack, but in this game, I don't really need pack, so now that we have all of both parts, we can make our way to talk to Kevin. I did want to talk about Infinite Warfare Zombies as well. Like, Infinite Warfare Zombies is such a great zombies experience. Like, the way that I could explain it is, if you had enough of Treyarch's bullshit and you need a break, Infinite Warfare Zombies is a great way to do that. And it's a great way to still play zombies, but get a really different experience. So, I can tell that there was a lot of passion put into this game, and I highly recommend giving Spaceland or Rave a go. They're my 2 favorites, but I don't know, I just find it a good way to kind of refresh playing zombies in a way. Like, it's kind of like I don't know, you need a break from the main chick, you go to the side chick, you know what I mean? Anyways, we have arrived, so all we do is go and talk to Kevin, and then I grab the second film reel, and we bust out of here.